Good luck. Welcome back to week whatever this is of the teaching ladder. In this ladder, you get to play a lower ranked opponent and a higher ranked opponent, or lower rated, higher rated, and then review the game afterward and see what you can learn from the experience. It's always good fun. I don't recall. Is this the system where I'm supposed to play the pawn or the rook first? I don't remember. Um, oh, Yeah, I think I can play this here and bring the rook over next. I don't entirely remember. I've been encouraged to be less of a scaredy cat of this attack directly on the bishop's head and to play more actively against said attack. So we're going to try that out and see how it goes and maybe learn something in the process. So wait. If I bring this bishop out, and they attack. Yeah, I am perplexed. I don't see a game-winning fork if I... Bishop, pawn, pawn, rook, rook, pawn, rook. This all looks playable to me. Oh, they push the center pawn first. I retreat, drop, run. I think this looks playable. We're going to learn the hard way if it's not. Just double check that my overlay looks fine, and it does. I always offer a greeting before the game. I say good luck to my opponent. I know in Japanese it's more customary to say Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. However, currently we aren't in Japan, so a Western greeting can suffice too, I believe. But yeah, that saying, I believe, means thank you and I will be in your care and so forth. So it's an encouragement to have good manners. That's just commonly used in Japan. It's good to have, I don't know, an amicable spirit. So if I bring this over and then I take the... Okay. Right. I get to cut the diagonal this way. So, yeah, I still have not moved my rook over. But I think that's okay. Alright, so if I take, silver takes. If I drop, silver advances. So we're not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to invite this rook forward, only to repel it the next turn. I have all its invasion squares covered, and even if the opponent were to exchange here, I still have invasion squares covered. So I've not lost anything through my style of play. So now if I were to move the rook and we exchanged rooks, this silver would be hanging. This, I think, provides me the impetus to get that moving. What I'm fuzzy on is here. Do I bring the rook to the open file like common sense would suggest? Because I don't see a forcing continuation if I do that. It's all fine, but there must be. Well, okay, there. No. Okay, so I'm not in harm's way here. This advancing silver, though it does advance quite quickly, I can repel with this pawn advance. And my rook is not a target. So I have time to play this. Today's proverb, there's always a move at the edge. Sure. True enough. If I'm looking to spend a tempo without a goal in mind, yes, an edge pawn push will certainly suffice. Depending where the kings are located, it could be much more effective than just spending a turn randomly. However, this situation demands action, and quite a bit of it. Maybe next I'm supposed to bring this gold over to defend the silver in case my rook ends up moving, but I don't see my rook moving anytime soon. I'd like to invade with it, but I don't see a realistic way for... Well, silver up, bishop takes, rook takes, silver drop, this is defended. The gold runs away. I take this knight, they take here. My position collapses in short order, and well, there's not much to worry about anymore. I don't know if king up would help me out with some of these tactics. Oh, plus silver drop, they could also advance the gold, and the rook defends the knight. So, there's no tactical shot there. Oh, I could retreat the bishop back this way. That's worthy of note. I might need to do that. Or it may behoove me to do such a thing. So, yeah, bishop 5-5 is looking not great. This situation I've gotten myself into, I'm not super thrilled about. I guess also possible is like bishop takes silver and silver drop 5-5 to regain the bishop. I don't know if that's wise or not. Okay, yes, this is quite resourceful. If I drop... There's no need for me to drop there. This is... I mean, I want to drop there to start resolving this really messy tension, but I don't need to do that. There's not yet an urgent attack, though it's getting close. Bishop takes and silver drop is threatened. Okay. Pawn, pawn, knight. Pawn drop, knight up here. Silver up, knight up. Silver takes knight, I take the lance. Wait. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, I could defend the silver like I was talking about earlier. That might be wise. Um, it feels so slow to do that, but I think I have to. My position's so fragile here. It's the combination of bishop 5-5 and rook 7-8 led to this situation. That and being unwilling to exchange bishops. Well, I didn't have the opportunity through this move order, actually. But now my rook is free. I'm threatening to take the pawn. Surely my opponent will oppose my idea. And I don't know where we go next. I should build a castle, etc. Or I could try to build a central castle. It gets tricky. Pawn drop. There's a lot of tactics here. Pawn, knight. If they pawn drop again, knight up. Silver up, knight up, silver takes, bishop takes. I don't see myself getting KO'd by that. But it's not stellar either. Pawn, knight. Oh, I could, yeah, if I take the knight. They could do pawn drop, they don't have to. Could also just move the silver. Yeah, it's unpleasant. I should castle. This way I don't get knocked out in the opening. Also, now that the rook has moved off this file, advancing the gold might be something worth thinking about. Don't push the center file pawn if you're in a bishop exchange opening, because it just creates too many holes for bishops to exit your position. If the silver goes here, I can drop a pawn, and then my knight easily forces the silver out, and I can jump my knight and start making... Well, it makes bigger threats, but the silver is a bit of an issue. Oh. Well then. Yeah, all these lines I've been looking at are somewhat moot, are they not? If rooks get exchanged, how much trouble am I in? A rook drop down here is pretty bad. If I take this... Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Damn. Well, that's ugly. Do I have to move this gold over somewhere to deal with rook drops? It's such an unusual castle shape, but maybe it's necessary. Hmm. Yes, of course, I keep looking at ways to sacrifice material to break in. Like, I could pawn drop, and if rook takes, I could take the silver. But if silver takes here, it's not so obvious what to do. So, while none of the sacrifices seem to work, we'll play this way. Though I'd like to attack. Okay, our opponent defends. Um, hmm. All right, Rook Castle. You don't see this every day. That's for sure. Um, I don't know really how I'm going to deal with this. It seems I'll have to bring my gold out and then push this. And then find some way to bring my castle back together. Also, I guess I could just push this first and then bring the gold up. And then that way I don't have to drop a pawn to get a counterattack. It's one move faster to just push this. Hmm. There's got to be some downside to that. Like maybe they sack or exchange here, redrop, or I don't know. It looks safe enough. In their shoes, I'd be tempted to just play the gold. Complete boat castle, bring the king over. Like, I don't think I have a strong attack just yet here. That said, completing the castle makes this point more vulnerable to a rook from the bottom. Hmm. Okay. So, it's a more patient approach. Um, if I push, bishop takes, gold up, bishop runs, gold takes pawn drop, silver takes knight up. There's no easy path here. Wait, am I immune to a rook drop? If I take here after this bishop runs, rook takes, gold takes. Every square's covered until they take here. So they take here. I'm not immune anymore. So that's not so simple. Also, silver 5-5 is possible in all of this. That's cool. Yeah, that's just castle. I don't seem to have a way to end my problems here. So we're just gonna deal with it. Or maybe pawn drop in front of the rook, but it's not something I want to play immediately. We'll play it when we need to. Which might be next move. I mean, yeah, there's always a move on the edge. I don't know that that's worth doing at this time. Um, hmm. Uh, let's try it. Today's proverb encourages me to be more open-minded. Let's see. On the other flank too, maybe? That's kind of wild. Um, I don't really know what castle shape they've decided on, so I'm hoping they'll clarify for me. Alright, so this is a castle where the king can be attacked more easily now. And this gold is harder to defend. So, do I drop here? Yeah, I mean, surely I drop here, right? This is the whole thing I was leading up to. I could push... No, there's no time for that. Alright, let's go. Now, which way do I go next? I think gold takes was the plan. I've been looking it over for the last 2 minutes. This isn't me just blitzing a move for the sake of blitzing one. I was constantly looking at this and trying to poke some hole in it. Could not poke a hole in it, so here we are. Rook up instead would lead to exchanges, which just don't look any good. So, finally dealt with one weakness in my position. Pretty major weakness. And now there's always a move on the edge, so gosh, it'd be nice to have the silver way out here. Okay. That blocks the bishop. That blocks the bishop. Um, okay, can I get my opponent to block their own rook? If I'm threatening a pawn drop in front of their rook, they might proactively drop here. Yeah, it's what I was considering doing in their position. I don't think it's a good move, but it's extremely tempting. Um, well, so now what do we talk about? This knight can jump out, but this creates more holes in the opponent's position. Yeah, this happens instead. My position looks pretty well defended against a bishop drop. I think it's time for me to spin the wheel. And just hope that I've got a reasonable position here. A bishop drop there hits this point pretty severely. Well, we can deal with that in a minute. Yeah, we're going to exchange this off. if silver takes, I can drop a pawn to evict this silver. It's not so clear what either of us is doing here. Rather, I'm trying to knock out this pawn and promote my rook. I've got a castle. They've got a castle. They might return the favor with bishop takes gold here. In which case, I mean, I can't spot something better for me, so here we are. I did what I could find. I just, like, if I were in their position, I'd feel really nervous about this castle. I'd have maybe delayed the silver advance by a tempo. But, like, the tempo would be building twin gold or something else. Which, like, that wasn't part of their plan, so... In fact, yeah, lifting the bottom gold would have made their king more vulnerable, so... Who am I to give advice? Maybe I could have pushed this first. That looks really messy. Oh yeah, they were hitting my bishop here. Wait, if silver takes, I can push this. They don't have bishop drop. At least not there. I have bishop drop here. Pawn drop. Where's the bishop going? I don't know. See, my original idea... No, actually my original idea is great. Why am I doubting it? But yeah, this pawn up and pawn drop here easily... Well, kicks the silver this way. It exposes my king too, which is no good. Well, even if I call that no good, this position's not very good. No, we have to evict this before something tragic happens. I don't have a choice on that one. They could still, like, sack the silver and bishop drop here, and maybe I'm still in a world of hurt. I'm not sure. I think with an additional silver, I could repel such an attack. It would be difficult, but I think I could. Which is why you don't build this castle. I didn't see an alternative, but this is not that great. Yeah, bishop takes gold. Maybe I just take the silver instead of taking the bishop. But no, I need the bishop. The bishop is key to defending their position. But then they sack here. And then I run away, I guess? And then they bishop drop me here. So I have to take the sack and let them promote. I get my material back almost.
30秒。
Hopefully I find an initiative soon. This rook is still blocked by a pawn. Yeah, I have to take this. I need the bishop too. So we're taking the bishop. Unfortunately, there are tactics here, but We'll just have to live with it. Oh, the bishop
30
retreats
秒
here, hitting the rook. Bishop drop forks the horse and the rook.
40秒
That's heavy. That looks really heavy. So I'm not sure that my attack mates, though. Like, this is spooky with gold takes and bishop drop. I don't know. But I'm threatening some pretty scary stuff,
30
too.
秒
Like, bishop takes, rook drop. I think if they had a gold in hand, they could deal with all my stuff.
40秒 50秒 1、2、3、4、5
Yep. Um. Hmm.
これより秒読みに入ります。
Well, this is anything but comfortable, but I'm doing it. Pro tip, don't move instantly unless you know what your opponent's going to do. They just cut their thinking time in half. Like, for many moves, I've been looking at what might they do next, and so forth. This is a fork.
30秒
Also threatening gold drop mate. Also threatening, like, if the king tries to escape, silver drop, which threatens gold takes silver drop,
40秒
and silver takes gold. There's no king rook fork here. Bishop drop, silver drop.
50秒 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9
Okay, that does lead to a king rook fork. If my king escapes. Hmm. Pro tip, don't give advice if you're not a pro.
30秒
Um,
40秒。50秒。1、2、3、4。
I gotta walk into this. This allows a fork. It's not the end of the world, although it is deeply unpleasant. Um, hmm. I thought I had made. Maybe I was right. But this probably is not the way to go about it.
30秒。
Hmm. Do I get mated if I do that? I don't think so.
30秒。
Yes, of course, I'm trying to bring the gold up and checkmate the opponent. I don't think
40
that my
秒。
attack is nearly good enough to work in that respect. But also, I'm blind to what my opponent can do, so
50
I'm
秒。
letting my
1、
imagination run
2、
free here.
3、4、5、6、7、8、9。
I guess the reason I was offering tips is not for this particular opponent, but for other opponents I've seen who've rushed their moves, as I'm rushing my moves here. I'm rushing because I think I'm dead lost. Um, and then it doesn't really matter what my move is, because there's not an escape. Um,
30秒。
if they take a silver, that's another piece that can block on this back rank.
40秒。
Otherwise, only the gold could block, or the bishop. But yeah, having another piece to block could be useful.
50秒。1、
Oh shit. Um, that's faster than I thought. If my king chases this, I don't know.
30秒。
Hmm.
40秒。50秒。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8。
I don't like having their king escape, but I think I get mated if I don't play that. So, there it is.
30秒、40秒、50秒、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8。
Hmm. There is one major problem with that. The obvious candidate also looks quite strong.
30秒、
There's also another candidate that looks quite strong. Um,
40秒、
this is the move I was banking on. Uh, pawn drop, or even gold drop here. Yeah, wait, this is still mate. And no. No, they need to protect this point. Otherwise my king... Actually, no. Gold, king, a pawn, king,
30
gold, king,
秒、
gold, rook takes. A gold here, king takes knight. So, yeah, they need to stop my king from invading.
40秒、50秒、1、2、3、4、5、6。
Yep. So if I dodge back this way, rook takes, and I'm instantly mated. If I go back this way, maybe get out. We have to try this. Maybe, etc. Maybe I'm even threatening to... No, that's crazy. That's way too dangerous. Um,
30秒、40秒、
other thing is, if rook takes silver, like, I think I'm still dead here. What could I do?
50秒、
I could... never mind. That didn't happen. Um... So I'm going to weave away from those pieces. Maybe end up... No, I don't need to set up some elaborate fork here. My position's slowly becoming okay. Checkmating in shogi is quite difficult. Exhibit A. I was trying to checkmate my opponent here. Obviously, that's not the discussion we're having at the moment.
40秒、50秒、1、2、3、4、5、6。
Yep. Looks as reasonable as anything here. Um... hate taking this gold general.
30秒、
It's so not very much in the spirit of teaching peace activity, etc. But I need a gold for this combination to somehow mate. And saving the silver doesn't hurt. I've got these pawns defended by my king. Yes, pawn drop is possible, but I don't see myself
30
getting mated
秒、
quickly here.
40秒、50秒、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。
Hmm. Bishop, king, gold, king. I don't know. Maybe I am dead. Oh. Huh.
30秒、
Thought I was fine.
40秒、50秒、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8。
Did I have to play this before? What was my last move? My last move was taking this gold. Maybe my last move was a huge blunder. That could well be. Um, have I? How crazy am I? Has that always
30
been good?
秒、
Not once did I think that was a good try.
40秒、
But that just might be the solution here.
50秒、1、2、
That's
3、
something.
4、5、6、7、8、9。
No, I... Hmm. Hmm. I don't understand this position. That is such a beautiful way to finish this game.
30秒、
They do win this, right?
40秒、50秒、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8。
I'm not seeing it.
30秒、30秒、40秒、50秒、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、30秒、40秒、50秒、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、
Hmm.
30秒、
Yeah, our community has improved considerably over the years. I'm impressed to find myself on the receiving end of this. Thought I'd maybe get a knight in hand. I don't have a knight in hand. Um,
30秒、40秒、50秒、1、2、3、4、5、6、
Alright,
7、
thanks for the
8、
game.
9、
Well played. Alright, cool. So, following the game, we get to do a game review, which is the appeal of this format. Um, cool. That was something. Um, yep. Oops, sorry I broke the UI. Yeah. Alright, so usually I'm able to zoom in for everybody's benefit here. Um, didn't end up working out that way. I haven't been super active with this ladder, so... But yeah, it's unfortunate I can't zoom in here like I used to be able to do. Ah! I can't recall the theory. People keep telling me different things to try here, too. Oh. Uh, yeah, that's a shame. So the same idea that manifested in a different game manifested here, too. Oh, okay. But yeah, usually a player that loses has more questions. I think that's still true here. I certainly have many questions, but I don't know how to pose the questions in a constructive manner here. I zoom in once, again, the screen just, it's not easy to understand. So I apologize, we're going to be looking at it this way, unless there's some other way we can look at it. Mm. Mm. Like, uh, so the idea here is that somebody has to lead the game review. I guess I'll hand that off to our opponent to lead the game review, even though I'm the one with the questions, because I don't know how to pose the questions, so they can in turn ask what it is that should be asked. Although they might start asking me what the questions are, and then I'm like, well, gosh, we're in an awkward spot, aren't we? Um, hmm, yeah, I suppose so. So they're saying what they think they're remembering is similar but different. You know, it's sure a way to move the bishop to the other side of the board. I mean, this isn't what I wanted to do. Yeah. So, yeah. We can look at that variation, but it's not ultimately like what I was interested in. I should have just brought the bishop out, blocked the diagonal, and found some way forward. I just cannot remember opening theory to save my life. Um, Usually I can make up for that by playing aggressively, but this time I lost again. I think they beat me last time too. Yeah. I, well, fine. Sure. Um, you're asking a question, then I answer the question. uh, like I could do this. Yeah. Uh, uh, yeah. I don't remember what I had been suggested to me. I've not been studying. I am very swiftly on the track to demote to 1Q, maybe even 2Q. Like, these ranks keep up with your level of performance. Yeah, okay. So, uh, I couldn't remember how to get Ishida given, like, you're threatening this. I didn't remember how to stop that and also get Ishida. Uh, I just have not been super active playing shogi lately, to say the least. Um, hmm. Well, I mean, you suggested that I try to play Ishida, so how do I do it? I guess it's not easy, but it starts with this, but then there's this, right? Oh, I guess, yeah, that's possible too. Okay, sure. Yeah, this king moves. And then, like, is there some trick to it? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I should know this as somebody who has played this many times. Yeah. It's been like 2 years. It feels like 2 years since I last played this accurately in such fashion. Um, yeah, yeah. So, obviously I didn't play that. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, this is a good point too. That unless I'm playing for some super rush attack, which I thought I could afford, I just could not. This just didn't work out at all. So, yeah, I thought the theory favored Senta here. Very clearly, it does not. I'm just, like, completely, totally screwed here. Hmm, yeah, yeah, I would have been. Yeah, this is a flexible move that allows you to later choose which plan you're committing to. So it's quite pragmatic in that sense. Ah, yeah, Melkor's a good teacher. Yeah, yeah, I was not expecting like this level of resourcefulness, etc. Um, like, yeah, this game almost entirely looked solid. I have no end of compliments here for my opponent's play because I just got run over by a truck. This just was not close at all. Yeah, yeah. I didn't foresee this. And I'm like, well, shit. I can't remove the knight. Um, yeah, yeah. This position just is complete butts for me. Yeah. Um, and left Mino against Yagra. Hmm. Did not know that. I wonder how. Um, Yeah. I just don't see it. So I actually don't know what you're referring to. Um, yeah. I see. So in left Mino, you could choose instead of gold 5-2, gold 6-2. Hmm. Ah, nice. Yeah. Hmm. Actually, I say I haven't seen it in years, despite one game recently at a position that looked extremely similar to Yakra. But that I played Duck and we got there through a weird move order and they never completed the castle. Um, I played the Duck Legs castle. Um, hmm. Um, uh, yeah, yeah. You're welcome to VC, but by no means obligated. Uh, um, up to you. Yeah. So, um, yeah, all their moves look quite logical. Um, I probably would have done the same thing in every situation here. Welcome. Yep. I'd zoom in on the board, except my overlay is messed up. So here we are. So this silver advance also comes up when left Mino plays against Yagra. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I thought my attack would be faster. Uh, so I sacrificed my bishop, and like I was full of confidence here. Hmm. Uh. Hmm. Yeah. I think my position is just complete butts. My attack is way too slow. It's not even a race. Um, hmm. uh, Uh, yeah. So it's just brutal. So beyond like all these other things, I still am down material, and my king is floating and exposed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they're up material despite thinking they're down. They have pieces in hand, and then this came in, and it's just instantly decisive. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Nothing about my attack works. Hmm. Um, about that rook drop. That's interesting too. Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. I don't think I had any way out from here. So, yeah. Um, maybe I goofed somehow reading this? I didn't think so. No. No, yeah, there wasn't anything I could have done. Hmm, yeah. This is cleaner. Yeah, I don't think there's any way for Senta out of this. Yeah, yeah. There's just nothing I can do. You won the game. Yeah, like, you beat a one-don here. You can complain all you want, but you won the game. This is part of why, like, generally it's the person that loses the game that leads the review, so they can complain, but you can complain, it's just not going to make any sense here. Um, yeah. Uh, Hmm. I mean, people in chess say the same sort of thing that I'm not going to go to tournaments until I'm better than my rating or something. Yeah. Um, hmm. Hmm. Yeah. I tried to get this position. Like, there's just nothing I can do. Um, yeah, I'm just extremely cooked. Um, so there's more than one way to skin a cat here. I'm debating whether bishop drop here mates. I don't think it does. I think you just take the rook. And, like, I have nothing. This is all there is. Um, there might be a mate somewhere, but this is more than good enough to win the game. I'm pretty sure. Says the player who did not win the game, so what do I know? Um, like, I, yeah, my king is wide open, and there doesn't seem to be any way to fix it. Um, yep, that looks fine. Um, hmm. So yeah, maybe there is something there. I wonder. This rook drop. Um, hmm. Um, let's see. Yeah, I mean, the gold drop is what I was going to do if I were in their shoes. Maybe I can find. It's hard to find something better than that. I mean, this is fine too. This looks playable. Oh. Hmm. I mean, hmm. Hmm. Pretty sure this drops material. Maybe not. Um, um, oh wait, this might be more dangerous than I thought. This might be more dangerous than I thought. Hmm. So I wonder, um, might this be a thing? Like, I thought gold drop would be good enough. Yeah. So you get to invest all these pieces to take a bishop. Um, uh, Maybe this is more difficult for them than I thought. Like, this looked very difficult, if not impossible, for Centister to survive. Um, with this bishop dropping key. Hmm. Wonder if you ever get this against the Fortress Yagra position. I wonder. We're gonna take this back, but we're not taking it back. But yeah, we're taking it back. But no, we're gonna. I mean, they're trying to change Senta's move somewhere. So I don't see what could have been done substantively differently than that variation there. Um, hmm, hmm. Sorry, from here. I guess there's also this one, um, which just deals with not losing the bishop. Sure, it gives up this gold, but and the knight and everything else. But if you have mate against Senta's king, does it really matter? Um, Not completely sure about this one. I guess we could look at this. I don't know. Like, this looks like mate. Um, mm, so, yeah, I guess this doesn't work. Um, that's unfortunate. Yeah. Um, so I guess, yeah, I guess King 3-2 is necessary. Yeah. Yeah, if the king runs up, it does help. But regardless, I walked into this fork and it was over. There was nothing to do here. Could have resigned, I don't know, ever since I did my bishop retreat, but we played this all the way to the end. Hmm. Yeah, Hidachi writes in the 81 Dojo wiki, Oh. Huh? If I moved up here? Really? Uh... Like, I need to blitz as I'm blitzing with this gold up the board. Because my position is complete butts. Oh. I mean... Hmm, um... If I don't gold drop there, I have no attack. There's... my attack is completely dead. Uh... I play what I had to play. Yeah. Yeah, we just looked at this. That's why I played what I did, because I don't have a choice. This drop. Yeah. Um, and so now I just have the two pieces in hand, which are not anywhere near enough to deal with this. And all my pieces are hanging. Um, so how do we help deal with this uncertainty? I mean, I guess there's like, no, that's not it. Um, like, this looks hard to deal with. Hmm. Silver drop 3-5. I guess, yeah, just promote. Yeah. So, I know rooks are scary pieces, but at some point you have to get beyond it. Um, yeah, that's how I was able to sack heavy pieces here with confidence. Problem is, the confidence was heavily misplaced. Um, yeah. Yeah. That's just my position, just completely terrible. There's nothing I could have done. Hmm. Yeah, I hate to be a bit of a downer about the analysis. Like, people love to ask questions during analysis. Um, hmm, hmm, yeah. I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree about, like, if I have no attack, can I win that? Yeah. Yeah. Yep, this is my idea. Yeah, so Um, I don't know, like, yeah, even this is desperate because the dragon is hanging. Yeah. They're like, no, I just saw one or two moves ahead. Yeah. And they're correct. Like, I've had this phenomenon where things just work out. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This would have been a less dramatic finish and just a overwhelming display of force. Yeah, I missed it too. Hmm. Yeah, I got crushed. Sometimes these things happen. We'll see, we'll see. I've, yeah. So anyway, um, is it time for me to do general remarks for the video? Guess it's time for general remarks. That's cool. Yeah, we'll do our, whatever standard exit greeting thing. So, general remarks and observations about the game. Yeah, no, I fully agree with just about everything my opponent said during post-game analysis. I agree with the moves they played throughout the game. Um, I missed a lot and paid heavily for it, despite having following good general guidance, more specific planning, and better following the guidance than I did was necessary. There's, yeah. Anyway, so the way the game ended, yeah, this is played, and I have nothing I can continue with here. So if I had to guess, like, yeah, bishop drop didn't save the position. During the game, I did ask if I just delayed silver takes gold, might this have changed things somehow? Almost certainly not. Like, there's my attack still runs out. Having the gold in hand is not going to change anything here. So I'm still, yeah, gonna end up in a position like this. So back to general remarks. Yeah, my opponent played well throughout the game. I got beaten in the opening, in the middle game, and in the end game. So, um, I know in the chess world, players avoid tournaments with the idea that they will improve first and then start playing tournaments. Many people claim this. Consequently, there are many chess players who say, oh yeah, that's my official rating, but my actual rating is this, and so forth. Playing online breaks this illusion for people because the rating is right next to your name and it's based on your online performance. And it updates as you play games. So you can't just claim things. The number's right there. I know I keep saying I should try to rank back up to 2-dom, but that's going to require work. To some extent, I feel as if I've been goaded into this constant narrative of an excuse that I constantly hear that, well, other players can't reach my level of performance because they didn't start as chess players. And that I'm at a tremendous advantage and everything's naturally easy for me. And this is the same thing I hear when I like practice piano or play at recital or whatever. Oh, or at a concert. You're just so naturally gifted and skilled. And there are pianists who have better explained that there could not be a more insulting thing one could say to somebody who studies something so heavily. Um, I'm not gonna, like, yeah, of course I'm salty about it. I'm not gonna tell these people to stop it because it's rude in that same way to, like, it's just gonna lead to argument and more argument and so forth to try to get a person to correct their own errors in thought. They can genuinely believe in their own reality, and to them, that reality is genuine. No matter what your life experience is, they can still, in their world, invalidate it because they just don't see the world from your perspective. So there's not much point in arguing directly with the person to try to correct their behavior. Um, the only way that I can like correct them is by myself plummeting down the ranks and demonstrating a lack of skill and ability. And maybe then they can start to believe. If you look at like my older videos, I started at 5Q. It's really painful to watch. Those are the videos that I saved. There are videos I recorded and then later deleted on my path up to 5Q. It was not an easy process. Even now, I still need to work to improve. It's not natural. So for those of us who can apply common sense, yeah, it's not easy. So for those of us out there who are listening, yeah, I'll remark. So my game has been suffering considerably. One, because I've not regularly been watching Moronaka because he doesn't have his regular series running. Two, because I've constantly been shifting around my openings on Shogi Wars, just because I find losing the same way over and over tedious, so I'm finding new ways to lose. And three, I'm more focusing on blog writing, software development, mahjong, Chinese chess, other games. So, like, I'm not devoting the same effort to shogi. Maybe in part because just repeatedly being insulted isn't worth it, but maybe in part just because I don't see myself being able to improve beyond 1 dan or 2 dan. I don't know. Or other things just have my interest at the moment. Um, we'll see if I can put forward a serious effort to try to improve my performance, or if I'll just keep screwing around. I can't say right now which way I'm going to go with this. Um, it's still fun to play, but in terms of having a channel where I try to put out semi-instructive content, I can't beat the voice of our English cohort, who are immensely loud. And now my games are suffering too. So, like, not only am I drowned out, but also I can't, yeah, I'm just not putting in the effort to improve. So I'm falling behind. So I might find the effort and inspiration and so forth to keep improving. I might just keep playing. We'll take it one day at a time and not worry about it. But rest assured, if I do improve, it's because I put in effort. So we'll see. Either way, hopefully that makes some sense. Yeah, this is a really good game. And I mean that, and I'm not going to argue with other people when they say this is a good game and they meant it or didn't mean it. To them, they mean it. But to me, like, clearly this was a good game. Yeah, I'm more than a bit miffed that I messed up the opening and that I did not recover throughout the game, and I kept pushing aggressively, hoping to exploit errors. And that was just a very terrible way to go about playing the game. And the game demonstrates in the main line of the game this is why you don't play that way. So hopefully that was instructive. I still have another ladder game to play. We'll see if I can get that scheduled. Also, later this week, I have a 10-second game scheduled for the 10-second knockout tournament. I missed rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4 or something due to various scheduling errors. But now I'm in the losers bracket and paired with a 6 Dan, so we'll see what I can do. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. See you next time.